Salom, it's very interesting reading and hearing of this development regarding a suit against Wesley Girls. And I've been listening to some commentary around it, either by legal people or ordinary non-legal minds, as to what is the real motive of the suit and what will be its effect on our educational system in this country. Because we've been in this country for quite some time now. The churches have played a significant role in enhancing education across this country. And so where you have major developments like these that try to push the churches or the missionary schools into a point where it's as if we are having a religious conflict, then it becomes a bit worrying. From the legal point of view, of course, someone is challenging the legitimacy of a school to either impose a religious belief on certain individuals who are not of the same faith, and wants the Supreme Court to make a declaration that it is an infringement on the fundamental human rights of those people to practice their faith. But then again, if you listen to the Attorney General, when you read the Attorney General's position, which seeks to side, of course, the Attorney General is a party to the suit and would have listened or looked at the intent of the suit and is of the belief that Wesley Girls have a right to do what they are doing, basically. But I'm looking at it from a pure personal point of view, because I'm a born Presbyterian, okay? I went to Addis Adel College, which is an Anglican school. And in Addis Adel College, you have various kinds of people coming to that school. We had Muslims there, we had atheists there, we had Hindus in Addis school when I was in Addis Adel College. But then the school had its own guidelines in terms of how we do things religiously. So typically on a Sunday, everybody is marched to the chapel. You go and do your Anglican service. Whether you like it or not, you have to sing the hymns. And then when we finish the church service, everybody goes. If you are an atheist and we are singing the song and you don't want to sing, nobody forces you to sing. But you have to attend church service because it is part of the rules and regulations of the school to go to church service. In fact, with the coming into force of this charismatism, people had come from various charismatic churches. If you want to practice your charismatism, you go to SU. The school allowed you to do SU. And then you can go and do your praise and worship and all of that time. And we lived in harmony. And so, what again do we have? What do we go to school for at secondary school level? We are going for education. We are not going to school to enhance our religious faith or what have you. We are going to school to be tutored education-wise and build our future for the university.
But the character is also important, and religion plays a key role in shaping character.
But the fundamental point is that we go to school to learn.
To learn.
That is the purpose of going to school. The religious issues just come in as part of your training and guidance. And so, of course, if the school has its own belief system, they have their own practices. When I was going to Addis Adel College, I knew it was an Anglican school. I was a Presbyterian. Presec is a Presbyterian school. We had Roman schools like St. Augustine's. Methodist had infancy. So if I go to Adisandel College, I know
you
that
agree to be bound by your rules.
Not just agree to be bound, but you already in the known that this is the school and this is what they do. And so we as parents, if you want to choose a school for your child, you should look at all the complexities that are available in the school. And then you choose your schools according to what you think will enhance the totality of the development of your child. So if you are a Muslim and then you know that you have these schools there and you go in, nobody is going to compel you to say, leave your faith. You still remain a Muslim. But then it will be difficult for me to comprehend that you have to now, because you have atheists, because you have Hindus, because you have Muslims, you are telling missionary schools who have their established principles and their established religious stuff to now be building temples for Hindus because you have one Hindu or 10 Hindus professing to be Hindus. Then you create a mosque for Muslims because Muslims have come in and they also want their faith to be practiced and so on and so forth. I think it will be distorting the focus that we have for the schools. As an MP, I've had comments from some of my institutions when children go to school and they are saying, okay, we need to keep our hair because I have a right to keep my hair. And the teachers are like, why would we be entertaining people growing their hair in the boarding house? Because who is going to make sure that they keep it neatly? And so it's a very dicey issue, but it shouldn't be something that we should also let it affect the way we have grown our educational system. People's rights should be respected. So if Wesley Girls or any of these missionary schools have created a system where they are trying to change people from their religious faith, then that for me will be problematic. But if it has to do with the way and manner they run their school, including attendance of church services, and then if you are coming from a different religious faith, they have to make some compromises in terms of, because see, if someone is in school and you are doing fasting, okay, if you are coming from home and you go to school and you come back during your fasting period, your parents take responsibility on you. But you are in the care of teachers and head teachers, and then you are going to do 40-day fasting. And you say the school should allow you to do those fastings, and then if you go and get complication, who takes responsibility for the health of the child in the school? You see, so yes, as parents and as citizens, we should help our children and our schools.
But you see, when we're in school and SU could declare a few days fast. Let's say we are fasting for Wednesday to Friday because we are praying for this or we want this to happen. The schools never stop those things. So why do you prevent people from fasting because it is Ramadan?
In SU, when they declare fast, they don't give the school notice.
So you're saying if they give the school notice,
if they are giving it, when we go to dining hall and they are sharing food, it's compulsory for you to eat. So you hide yourself in the morning to say, oh, they may even give you your food and then you give your food to a colleague.
So, because you are fasting.
Because you say you are fasting. If you are fasting without knowledge of the school authorities, they cannot come in and take responsibility when something happens. But when clearly there is a declaration that Methodist Church is saying that they are fasting for 5 days, and so everybody should fast, and then when you are in school, you are telling the students to all fast. No, that for me will be problematic. So, and after all, the school setting is for a limited time period. You are in school for 3 years or so at the SS level. When you complete school, you have your wealth and your faith and why. When I finished, I never became an Anglican. I continue to be a Presbyterian. I've moved on to be ICGC. Yesterday, I went for a funeral in an Anglican church. Joseph Boamah-Nyarko, Mike Ledus in law, St. Francis of Assisi. And I just remembered the days. I was even a mass server in a disco. I served mass, and I learned so many things from there. But after school, I still went to live my life. And so, please, we shouldn't allow such development.
No, but you see, in your case, which is a good case, a fair case. But crossing over from Presbyterian to Methodism, it's not very difficult. The basics are the same. Jesus Christ, died, resurrected, etc. Very different from somebody coming from the other side, which is Islam. So you being a Presbyterian attending an Anglican school or a Presbyterian school or a Catholic school, yes, there are some slight differences, but the differences are not as stark as a Muslim, being forced to do. For the fundamentals in those cases would have been the same.
So that's why I'm saying that the churches don't force. Nobody forces someone to change your religion or your faith. It is just part and parcel of your training in the school to attend certain programs. And that program is compulsory. Whether you believe in it or not, it is compulsory. The challenge is that if someone is coming from that religious orientation, how do you create an environment for the person to practice their faith alongside? Because your faith is not being taken away from you because you came to Presec or you went to Fanspring or you went to Addis Adel. Nobody will take your faith away from you. But if you are supposed to pray 5 times a day, and 6 o'clock is your morning prayers, and you are supposed to sleep at 6, and wake up in the morning, wake up at 7 o'clock, you are saying that because of your faith, they should wake you up and go and pray at 6 o'clock. And when your second prayer is 12 noon, and you are having lectures, you are saying that they should allow you to leave classroom at 12 o'clock and go and pray. And then when it is 6 p.m. and you are supposed to be on either siesta or come for evening classes or something, we should leave you to go. No, that would distort the general trade. That's why if you are going to an Islamic school, that one, they also structure their curricula to accommodate those special occasions. Because when I went to Prempeh for my 6th form, colleagues of mine from Addis Ababa went to Tia Ahmadiyya. And when they went to Tia Ahmadiyya, they enjoyed the school because every Friday was virtually a holiday because they have to break school at 12 o'clock and go and do their service, and they don't have serious business on Fridays. So they will call me in Prempeh and tell me, Joe, you're poor school. But I'll be in class.
In those schools, were they prevented from worshiping on Sundays? The school made room for them to worship on Sundays.
Exactly my point. But that is because the school have looked at their enrollment over time. They know the number of people who are non-Muslims who come in, and they know that for us to live along and allow them to also, because when people come to school, you also have an intention that they are coming to create relationships. So yes, of course, if for example in Addis Adel College during my time, you had admitted students out of a population of, let's say, 5,000 students or 4,000 students. You have Muslims of about 1,000 students. And they are making a case that we need one classroom
to pray.
With a dialogue or a conversation, the school would have looked at it and said, okay, though you need 5 days, 5 times to pray, they can accommodate afternoon break or something for this population and so on and so forth. But if you want to look at every individual's background and religious interest and say that at the secondary school level, this is where we are going to enforce fundamental human rights for people to practice their faith as if we are going to school only to go and do religion. It is not for religious purposes that we go to school. And so my submission is that the schools cannot, and they have not, from what I know, compelled anybody to switch their faith.
I see.
The point is that this is how we run our school. You are entitled to come to the school, but every Sunday, sorry. Whether you believe in the church service or not, you go to church.
That doesn't that doesn't amount to forcing
No.
your religious practices.
No, because when you go to church, why? When you go to church and they preach, do you take everything that your pastor
No,
says?
but if I go every day, at least I'll be hearing one or two things. I may not intend to be convinced.
In fact, it even
but the more I
helps
hear,
you.
the more I get
It even helps you to understand the faith base of another
but
religion.
it's not something I want to understand. You can't force me to.
So when you go and they are talking, just listen and let it pass. Why? No, you just go do your 1 hour church, and then there you go.